Blackpool Victoria Hospital in Lancashire, one of the latest to declare its situation critical. Staffing pressures, rising admissions and relentless demand. It never lets up for the NHS. And a Prime Minister feeling the pressure, but sticking to Plan B.
We have a chance to ride out this Omicron wave without shutting down our country once again. We can keep our schools and our businesses open, and we can find a way to live with this virus. As our NHS moves to a war footing, I will be recommending to Cabinet tomorrow that we continue with Plan B.
More of the same, but the science still not yet fully clear.
What we don't know, and these are two things that we don't know that are key, we don't know exactly when the peak's going to occur or how big the peak's going to be. And the second really important thing is that this has largely been an infection amongst younger people up until now, and it's moving up the age range now. And as it moves up the age range, you would expect to see more hospitalisations, and we don't know for sure how that's going to manifest.
So many unknowns except for one, no new restrictions for now. The focus instead on keeping the country and the NHS propped up.
We've identified 100,000 critical workers in areas from food processing to transport to our border force. And from the 10th of January, we'll be rolling out lateral flow testing for all these workers, available on every working day.
Hi there. Hi.
And alongside testing, the continued rollout of boosters.
How many doses will you get out of that?
The PM and his Health Secretary hopeful jabs in arms are the answer, but they've been here before. A new year, but with very familiar problems. This is the 2nd January in a row that people in there are trying to manage a very unpredictable pandemic. It's a tough start to the year, and it's made harder still by the Prime Minister's own political problems linked to those parties in number 10. For now, Mr Johnson is gambling that he can ride that Omicron wave without further restrictions, but it's a big gamble to take, especially for a politician already playing a weak hand. His political rival on the rise and on the attack.
As we begin this new year, Britain has entered a new phase. Because just as the government has revealed itself to be unworthy of your trust, its incompetence is becoming plain. It is simply unacceptable 2 years, best part of 2 years into a pandemic, for the government to say we haven't got enough tests. Lateral flow tests ought to be available in sufficient quantity to deal with the situation we now find ourselves in.
The PM himself today said the coming weeks will be challenging, promising still to take a balanced and proportionate approach. But it gets harder as the pressure builds. Beth Rigby, Sky News, Westminster.